In 1932, Henry Ford launched the first V8 car in the Ford range. That flathead V8 car became probably the godfather of the entire hot rodding world. In the UK, after the war, we were in a bit of a broke place. America was booming, but we had a pretty austere period. And in here is a car that has the same V8 from that and was made here in Essex. But it was not really that well known, and to this day it's not got enough attention that it deserves. But it's a car that's been in this garage for nearly 30 years. The owner has got wonderful nostalgia around it, and also it's a car that was involved in my family's past in a small way. My dad first drove one of these when he was a little boy around a campsite. So this is of course a barn find episode of The Late Break Show. I'm Jonny Smith, and this episode is proudly supported by Nielsen Car Cleaning Products. So Les, we're in Benfleet in Essex. This Ford was built in Dagenham, half an hour away from here.
Not far.
So one of the few British V8 manufactured cars back then. Why have you got this, and why has it been in here for 30 years?
Well, I've got it because when I was 11, I had trouble with my leg.
Yeah.
I was on crutches for 3 months, and I was taken to school for 3 months, picked up and dropped back. And I remember sitting in the back and thinking, I'm going to have one of these one day.
One of these?
One of these. And I got to 40, 42 in fact, I think, when I bought it. And I managed to get one. And it's been in here ever since, apart from a year that I used it.
So you drove it for a year and that was it?
I drove it for a year, put it in here, and it's been in here for 28 years now, not moved.
So you bought it in the 90s, did you say you bought it?
95.
95.
95 I bought it, yeah. Yep.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Let's have a look, shall we?
The other,
Is it that way?
the other way. That's it.
Like that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ford V8 Pilot. So what year is it?
1948.
48. So this, like I said in the intro, this has a flathead V8.
Yep.
Hence the name, the V8 Pilot, which is a great name for a car, I think, with this amazing bonnet mascot. So as an 11-year-old, this probably looked absolutely enormous.
I can remember, it's like a limousine to me.
Yeah, and this is what, column, shift, bench seat?
Yes, yeah, 3 gears,
Yeah.
plus reverse.
Yeah, and so you bought it as a sort of middle-aged treat for yourself.
Yes.
Is that basically what it was?
Yes, I've never forgot that I wanted one.
Yeah.
There was a few around at the time, not many,
No.
but I managed to get this one from Leamington Spa.
Okay. And has it been restored, do you know, or?
No, I don't believe it has. I think it's just completely original.
Gosh.
Might be a bit of paint on it at the back,
Well,
but that's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's completely original.
This is great. So what we're going to do today, which is usual on the Late Break Show, we'll uncover the car, have a better look around it, pull it out, maybe give it a wipe down and a sprinkle with some potions from Nielsen. But also, I've actually brought my brother along, because my brother not only loves these, but he's also a whiz with pre-war cars. Because although this wasn't a pre-war car, it's a pre-war design. And that's what I said in the intro of, although these were made from 47, I think, 47 to like 52, it's fundamentally a pre-war car, because Ford didn't have the development money to make a more modern car after World War II ended. But what a thing. So here it is,
Amazing.
V8 Pilot. What a cool thing.
It's amazing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
See, you're a bit weird because you work on cars all day, but you're actually not that bothered about owning very many cars.
True.
Apart from, this has always been one of those cars that I remember you keep coming back to.
Yeah, I quite like them. And they're quite rare, really,
Yeah.
aren't they?
For a car that was made in the late 40s, early 50s, it's actually Art Deco to look at. I mean, that badge is so Art Deco. This and that aeroplane
Yeah, that's really
ornament.
cool,
It's
isn't it?
gorgeous, isn't it? I forgot to ask you, has it got a normal opening bonnet or is it a side opening bonnet? Because I don't know.
No, I don't. Les would know.
Les?
Yes, no, it goes up.
It's normal,
goes up and
conventional.
Yep. And
Okay.
that's part of how you open the bonnet.
So do you turn it to lift?
Turn it and then pull the catch.
So you don't need to go inside to pull anything?
No, no.
That's neat, Greg.
Oh yeah,
That's neat.
that's really cool,
Isn't it? There we go. On that catch. Well, it's well in there. Go on then, give me some stats. I know it's a 3.6. I know it's a derivative of the V8 from the 32 Ford.
That's right. I think it is.
The American version of. But this was made in the UK, in Dagenham, just down the road.
Yeah, this is a 30 horsepower version of that engine, I think.
This is more than 30 horsepower.
No, but that's its treasury rating. That's the old.
So modern,
Rating,
it's like more like 80 odd horsepower.
I don't know what its brake horsepower.
I read
would
it
be.
was about 85.
Okay.
But how many cars come with a four corner built-in hydraulic jacking system as standard? The V8 Pilot did. Is that the starter handle?
No.
Or is it, oh, that's the jack.
That's the jack handle, and then you select front or rear there. Look, and then I won't do it.
Really, you just select whether you want to jack the front of the. So basically, it's like a touring car,
Yeah. You've got a pair of jacks at the front and a pair at the back.
and they
You
just come down.
Yeah,
out
it just
of
lifts the whole thing
And they're
up.
built onto the chassis.
Yeah, and there's its little handle with its nice little wooden end. Look.
We'll have to do that later. We'll have to do that later. Let's uncover the rest of it.
Oh wow.
So you were saying they only made 22,000 of these?
Yeah,
and
less than.
And it was 4-year production run. It was actually very short, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And this is the distinctive thing I remember. I remember this spare wheel pressing into the boot lid. It looks so solid.
Gosh, look at this. I didn't realise they're the handles.
They're great, aren't they?
Yeah, they kind of look like hinges at a glance, but they're actually the handles. Crikey, that's heavy.
That is heavy. I can tell. So I mean, well, Greg, do you think this has been restored?
I wouldn't have said so.
No. It's amazing, really.
I mean, painted maybe, possibly, who knows? But no, it's lovely.
I can't wait to see the dashboard because that's one of my favourite things. Well, that's the thing that will have struck with you, and as an 11-year-old sitting in there.
That's it. Sitting in the back there. Yeah.
Oh, it smells good.
Doesn't it smell good?
That's just leather and old fuel. That's great. How nice is this cabin?
It's really nice, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
so kind of 50s American, but with a little bit of an English twist. But with the Bakelite, it's all Bakelite.
Yeah, so I read that this was a boast on the launch of the Pilot, that it had a Bakelite walnut effect dash,
Oh, okay.
which was really modern compared to
Yeah,
just the
I
sort
think
of-
the door, all this is Bakelite as well. Look, the door cappings and surrounds, they're all Bakelite.
And these Art Deco horizontal ribs above the door handle, and then you've got the rope grabs. They're almost kind of cathedral-esque, aren't they? And it's amazing. I mean, it's slightly, it's got a bit damaged.
Over-patinated steering wheel.
Yeah, I mean, it's repairable there, and the column shift knob there.
Yeah, 3 on the tree.
3 on the tree, yeah. And look at these gauges. I mean, it's in really good condition, actually, the dash.
Fitted radio, 1947.
Well, I look, last night when I was getting to bed, I read £585 this car was when it was new, which is apparently astonishing value.
Yeah,
You said that they were sort of old when they were new because of it being kind of a pre-war looking car.
Yeah.
Despite being a post-war.
well, and just rehashed with bits they had lying around, basically.
Yeah. However, it says here, for £36 more you could get the Pilot Deluxe, which came with leather, radio with 2 speakers, built-in aerial, hydraulic jackal system, demister, rear blind, opening windscreen.
That's right, yeah.
And obviously the promise of 20 miles per gallon and comfortable cruising over 60 miles an hour. But of course, when you look inside, it's almost a flat floor car, bench seat front and rear, almost a flat floor car because of that column shift. Must point out though, before we start delving into that flathead V8 to see what the score is there, this is a 6-volt car, right?
It is, yeah.
So I have borrowed a 6-volt battery, and I know you've probably brought a 6-volt battery as well.
A very small one.
Yeah. Right, so Les did say he hasn't driven the car in 28 years. I don't think he's done anything to it in 28 years apart from he said he pumped the tyres up once. You managed to find an oil change label. Where was that?
Here on the side of the air filter.
Right, and it says oil changed when?
Engine oil and filter changed May 8th, 1992, mileage 95235.
95235.
Yeah.
And then in here, the mileage is right now 95485.
Okay.
So we reckon those are the miles that Les did when he bought the car, the 1 year he had it on the road. We've set the lights up to start working on the engine, and it's a little bit more awkward than we originally thought. But Greg's now going to check whether the thing is seized. You were saying to me it's quite an interesting engine because it's got 2 water pumps.
Yeah, one on each cylinder.
And that's at the end here on the
That's
nose.
it, yeah. So you've got one that side.
Yeah.
So one per bank,
Yeah.
basically, on the block.
Right. And then you've got the distributor right in the nose down there.
Yeah.
Which is like there, which is
Yeah.
a bit inaccessible.
It's a bit awkward.
FFS.
Yeah.
So there's that. So I think the first thing we'll do is Greg's got the handle attached because, like I said before, back then, if your 6-volt battery gave up the ghost, you could crank start cars. So we'll want to see whether or not it is seized. If it is seized, it could be valves. If you've seen a barn find before where we did what car was that other car? The Ford.
That was the Ford Pop.
The Ford Pop.
Murray's Ford Pop.
The
wasn't it?
valves were stuck, weren't they, on that?
Yeah.
So there was no compression at all.
Oh, I don't really want to push any harder than that.
So
That's really quite stuck. And we're not in gear, are we?
we're not in gear. I did check on the column shift. So before we assume that the engine is seized from sitting, it
What
could
I'll
be
do-
it could be the water pumps are seized and thus
Is
stopping the thing from. So we're just going to ascertain that first.
right. So the one bolt that clamps the dynamo. So now
Yeah.
that belt is completely loose.
Yeah.
So you should be able to pull it out of the groove on your water pump.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be able to. Yeah.
Oh, I just managed to turn my water pump.
Did you?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get my hand in and turn this one.
Go on.
That is. No, that's
Okay.
that's tighter than you in the pub.
Right. If you hold that,
No.
we'll see if it was that.
Yeah, that. I mean, yeah. You have a go.
Well, no, because we've got the belt slack now. So,
So you're going to see if that crank
oh,
pulley that's still tight. I can't see any movement.
no,
No. So that's
I wouldn't want to.
so this water pump seems to be seized and the engine seems to be seized.
Yeah, I mean, it may well be that one would free off.
So in an instance like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some WD-40 on the plugs. I actually sprayed a little bit half an hour ago or more just to let it settle. Then we can take the plugs out, like we usually do on barn finds, put some oil lube down each of the bore holes, and then we might be able to really carefully with the hand crank is just turn it, see if we get some movement. Clean. Really clean.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your proboscis?
With my proboscis.
You're just blowing
in a
out.
thing, once you slacken the plug, of course, because they've been in there for so long, you get all dirt and debris lying around the plug hole.
Yeah.
And if you're not careful, the very first thing you do is you take the plug out and all that dirt drops in the cylinder, which you don't want. So I just slacken it off and then blow any of the dirt away that's been been gathered there. Yeah, it's obvious.
They're all good.
Yeah, it's obviously run very nicely.
Yeah. Oh, that's not tight. Were yours tight?
Not particularly, no.
No, that one was not tight at all. It's good.
They're short plugs, and they're only 1/2 inch reach plugs, and they're into iron, so they don't really want to seize in particularly.
So when it's long reach and aluminium,
Long reach into aluminium is
misery.
like the P5 ones were.
Oh yeah, if you haven't watched that video, that was a barn find. That was a lot of fun. Triple barn find with him up in Cumbria. I really enjoyed that, even though the Rover was seized.
That was another really nice day, wasn't
It
it?
was a good fun day. We had to dig that beetle out. So while we've sprayed in the WD-40 inside the plug holes to marinate for a little bit, we're going to take this old battery out, which has been in here for 30 years. So Les has just been sat in the car for 5 minutes refreshing his memory, which is why he's got a smile on his face.
Yes, yeah.
And you've remembered where the dash light switch is, because it's separate for the headlights.
Yep.
And we've got that lovely Art Deco dash lighting up. And then you've found that the wipers work.
Wipers are working. There we
And
go.
Greg, you reckon this would have originally been vacuum powered.
Yeah, they should be vacuum.
So somebody's converted that, which was probably a wise move. Vacuum wipers weren't the most reliable, I don't think.
And the ignition light, look, there it is there. Just by my finger.
That's so cool.
See
And
there?
so that chrome wing nut above the is that a speaker on the dash? Because this is a deluxe model. Because you've got leather chairs, radio, and the opening windscreen. And what? Look at that, Greg. Look, the screen.
That is good, isn't
You can take your aircon and you can shove it
Yeah.
where the sun doesn't shine. Because I've got an opening windscreen.
God's aircon.
It is God's aircon.
Yeah. I want this now.
You're in love with it, aren't you?
I
don't see you getting emotionally attached to cars.
No, I mean I want the challenge. I want it to run now.
Let's get started.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanna get it
Yeah,
running?
I'm hungry for it now.
So talking of hungry, right, we just took a break for lunch, and like a minute before we clocked off, Greg just went to turn the handle, and it just went, and pressed the starter button, and it just jumped into life, and so it seems we've squirted some more WD back. Greg guzzled his lunch and came straight back out. The car is unseized. Do you want to demonstrate?
Yeah.
We've got one set of plugs in, so but now it appears.
Oh, we got some compression.
Yeah, I can hear it huffing. And I checked with a torch, and we seem to have all the valves operating. So it's gone from figuring that today we weren't going to get this car unlocked,
That maybe we will.
that maybe we will. So what we're going to do is, because it's winter and the daylight hours are not great, Greg's going to try and get into that very inaccessible distributor and take out the 2 sets of points which this Pilot has. But we'll do that out there, and I might give it a little clean, a little localised cleaning session, so he can be doing that while we do that. But you're hungry, aren't you, for it?
Yeah, I'd like to give it a go, I think.
You just want to hear the flathead.
I kind of
You
do.
want to hear it huffing along, don't you?
I kind of do, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've removed the distributor cap and the rotor arm. The distributor is right downstairs.
It's down here.
Yeah, it's very low down and right near the radiator. If everything was a bit cleaner in there and I had more time, I would maybe remove the whole distributor to do this, but it's had contact breakers fairly recently. It's clean in there, but the points are a bit corroded and frosty, so I'm just going to get in there and give them a clean, and hopefully we'll then be able to get a spark.
Yeah. It's really cool. The whole family have got involved. You've got Lewis, Les's son, out there delving under the bonnet with Greg, and he's the one that contacted the Late Break Show actually about this car on his dad's behalf. So if you've got a car that you think might be of interest for me to come and look at, could be in a real barn, could be in a garage, could be on a driveway, in a hedge, get in touch with us. There's an email address in the description. Send us some pictures, a backstory, all of that kind of thing. And who knows, I might be polishing your car on your drive at some point in the future. In the meantime, I'm going to be cracking on with this. I don't want to pressure wash the car because it's not that dirty. I'm going to just shampoo it really loosely, get this dust off, and then I'm going to go over with probably some quick detailer from Nielsen. Nielsen are proudly sponsoring this particular episode. There's a discount code. You can get 35% off using TLBS35 code. TLBS35. There's a link in the description. Go shopping. While Greg carries on putting the points back in the Pilot, I just thought I'd come in here after cleaning the outside of the car and give it a little spruce up. I just think this dashboard is so delightful. I mean, look at that little Art Deco clock there. This Bakelite's in such good condition. I'm just going to use some of this Nielsen interior dressing, pump a little bit onto a cloth, and then give it a wipe down. It'll give it a sheen, but not too glossy. You can use interior cleaner as well if it's very soiled. What I hope is, after watching this video, is that people that don't normally give this era of car a second look will think, yeah, what a great thing. Whether you like them standard, whether you like them hot rodded, resto modded, there's so many cars of this era that are actually so affordable now. So affordable and so well made. So it may be dark, but we've actually got some light because you and Lewis have been messing around with those points and they've cleaned up, and we've just hand cranked it round with the ignition on and you've got a spark.
Yeah.
So we're going to now press the starter motor. We're not going to try and fire the car, but we're trying to get a consistent spark.
Yep,
ready?
see what it's like. Yep. Yep.
You got a spark?
Getting a spark, yep.
Yeah.
Getting a spark.
So yes, it's dark outside, but things are brightening up mechanically. This is great.
So
I can tell when you get excited because you go quiet.
who, me?
Yeah.
It's just focus. That's
Seriously, it's true.
That's it. That's it. Not yet.
You okay?
Yeah.
Back okay?
Yeah, it's good. And
Okay,
stop there. That's where we were. We're back in our own tracks
we
virtually.
we've got it. So what we're doing is we've got the can of hope here that you've seen from many episodes of the show. It's on the front wing of the Pilot. Greg's just fitting the fuel line to the in of the carburettor. And then we're going to attach it to the battery as usual, and then we can prime the carb with fresh fuel, super unleaded. And then, knowing that we've got a spark, plugs are in, Greg's cleaned up the ignition system, then I think we could go for a turnover. Yeah, there you go. Don't need much. That was pissing out from that
union.
That union, yeah. Have you looked inside the carb yet?
No.
Very trusting.
Well, sometimes you have to cut your suit to the cloth.
What kind of a suit are you wearing today?
An all-in-one suit. Body stocking.
Body. What about a unitard?
Yeah, I don't get all of that. Right, let's try again.
It's pissing out.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
It's definitely delivering fuel.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not the issue. It's just, the olive just doesn't like being in a different position. That's what it will be. Well, there are two options. We just try it as it is with the with this battery on its own.
Yeah.
Or we jump it with the other one. I guess we just try it with this one on its own.
And then if that starts to die down, we've got a second one. I can't use the jump pack because that's 12 volt.
No, that's fine.
Don't do many 6 volt barn finds.
That's fine. So, should we see if it wants to do something?
Yeah. Is there anything coming out the bottom?
Have you spilled anything?
No.
Choke is on.
Well, that's sped up.
It's trying. Yeah.
It is trying.
Give a tiny bit more on the fuel, in case we've used some.
It's weeping again out of that union, but I think you're right. That old fibre washer's probably dried out and. Well, that's close, isn't it?
Very close. Yeah.
That's close. Oh, you blighter. That nearly caught then, didn't it?
Yeah, it's nearly.
I can't believe that, 3 hours ago, we presumed the engines. See. Yeah. Listen to that.
Pulse of fuel, pulse of fuel.
That was good. It's a real. I'm pulsing it every 10 seconds, just a little.
Listen to that.
Ah, no, nice. Wow, that was good. Wasn't it?
Wow.
That's all right.
That sounds good.
It sounds really good. I'm just giving a. That sounds amazing. Is that how it was?
Well, it is. It purred.
Yeah.
It purred.
That's so nice, isn't it?
Isn't it?
So deep.
How about that then?
You see, being a side valve, all that claptrap that you get with overhead valve,
You don't hear it.
you don't hear it because it's all down in the block. It's just.
It really is. It's just.
Oh, well done, lads.
Oh my
Well done.
word!
Yeah.
What a
brilliant.
beautiful car.
Brilliant.
I really like it. Yeah.
It's great, isn't it? It's beautiful inside and out.
I really like it. Yeah.
Les won't sell it to you.
No, I was going to say my cheeky offer's not going to go down well now, is it?
Because Les is going to drive it in 2025.
Yes.
That's a promise. I think what we have proved over the course of today is that It's a really, really good condition car. It's weathered nicely. It's obviously been looked after over the years. It hasn't been restored.
If you restored it, you'd vandalise it.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, it's just got enough character, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And with it going through the brake system and giving that engine a deserved service, this thing will be on the road. New tyres on the road, and you'll be able to use it on the button. It's great. Got yourself a new 6-volt battery. It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
So, isn't that fun? I love it when we have a happy ending after such a long day. I don't mean your ringtone, Les. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Late Break Show. Thanks to Les and his family and Lewis, and thanks to you, Greg, for persisting with that terribly positioned ignition system.
But simple, 3 bolts, and it just comes out, and you can do it on the bench.
Yeah.
So it's clever, really.
Yeah, yeah. And if you've not already subscribed to the Late Break Show, I'd love you to subscribe. We've done loads of barn finds, 3 with him now. And
is that a good thing? I don't know.
There's always a story to tell.